We are going to see another sign that Jesus is coming very, very soon. Something that is happening in the world today and has been prophesied in the Bible. And Jesus says, when you see this happening, remember the coming of Jesus is very soon. Now look at this map of the Middle East. This is Israel. Now I'm going to show you how different armies are surrounding Israel. We are going to see that the Third World War is going to break out in a short while. Bible prophesies about that. So around the time of the Third World War, Jesus will come. Then some clever people will say, oh, is that right? Then I'll wait till the Third World War. When that starts, I'll get ready to go when Jesus comes. Till then I will enjoy. And when the Third World War is going to break, I'll get ready. What is getting ready? Putting on your clothes and combing your hair and having a bath, is it? Getting ready means growing in your character. You can't do that in 5 days. It's not getting your body ready, it's getting your soul ready. So we have just enough time to prepare ourselves. You can't wait for the last moment, you'll be left behind. Now we're going to see quickly how the Third World War, the world events are slowly going to move towards a Third World War. This Third World War is going to break out because of 3 reasons. 1, in Jerusalem, the location where the temple of the Jews was built, there is a mosque now. And therefore, because of that controversy, the Jews are not able to rebuild their temple. And this is a big issue today. So maybe if the Israelites take some wrong decision, immediately war will break out. Secondly, Syria is going to be a cause for the world war. In the Bible, there are some unfulfilled prophecies about Syria. It hasn't been fulfilled till now. Read Isaiah chapter 17 and verse 1.
The burden of Damascus, behold, Damascus is taken away from being a city, and it shall be a ruinous heap.
We have all heard of Damascus. Paul was saved on the road to Damascus. But many do not know that Damascus is the capital of Syria. Even today, Damascus is the capital of Syria. Now listen to this statement. This city of Damascus is the oldest continuously inhabited city in the world. I will say it again. This Damascus is the oldest continuously inhabited city in the world. In other words, Damascus has never ceased from being a city in its history ever. But this verse says Damascus is going to be taken away from being a city and is going to become a ruinous heap. And what is going to happen? Read verse 14, the last verse of that chapter.
And behold, at eventide trouble, and before the morning he is not.
In the evening trouble, in the morning he is not. What is the meaning of that? Damascus is going to be destroyed overnight. In Isaiah's days, the man who wrote this prophecy, in his days, this was impossible because people fought with stones and arrows and bows. But today it is possible for a city to be overthrown or become a ruinous heap overnight because we have atom bombs today. So overnight this Damascus is going to be overthrown is the Bible prophecy. It has not yet been fulfilled. It is going to be fulfilled. So it may be that in this year the war will start. So we'll wait and see. Third reason why a Third World War is going to this Syria-Israel war will escalate and finally result in the Third World War. Thirdly, today Israel's greatest enemy is Iran. The president of Iran says Israel should be wiped out of the map of the world. And Iran is heaping atomic weapons and they have many nuclear reactors and they are making bombs so that this time they are not going to lose. Israel is going to disappear from the world. So Israel has made special planes with huge petrol tanks to travel from, see how far Israel is. When they start from Israel, they have to cross the country called Jordan, go to Iraq, go to Iran, throw bombs there and come back all the way. So they have to need extra huge petrol tanks. So once again, Israel might plan a preemptive strike and throw bombs on Iran and come, and therefore World War III will start. Now, who will form the 2 factions of World War III is written in the Bible. How the war will start, how it will stop, and it is all written there. Turn to Ezekiel chapter 38 and read verse 2.
Son of man, set thy face against Gog, the land of Magog, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal, and prophesy against him.
See, here are some very strange names. What these names are, we have to find out. Look at these three names: Magog, Meshech, Tubal. Now turn to Genesis chapter 10 and read verse 2.
The sons of Japheth, Gomer and Magog and Madai and Javan and Tubal and Meshech and Tyrus.
So you see, these three names appear as the children of Japheth, the son of Noah. So as these people increased and became tribes, they started moving in a certain direction and settled down. So you have to ask the ethnologists, that they are the ones who study how nations are born, how they moved in directions, where they settled down, etc. They say that these sons of Japheth, that is Meshech, Tubal, Magog, all moved to and settled down in that place which today is called Russia. In fact, in that same Ezekiel 38:2, we read the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal. The word chief is Rosh, which is from which the word Russia comes. And the word Gog is a name, as a title of the ruler of Magog, the area of Russia. So Magog is a place, Gog is a title of a king, the ruler. Just like Pharaoh is a title of many kings, Herod is a title of many kings, Caesar is a title of many kings, Gog is a title of many kings. So God says, I'm prophesying against you. And in verse 4, God says, I'm going to put jaws in your hooks into your jaws, and I'm going to drag you towards Israel. And Persia and Ethiopia and Libya, they're all going to come with you. Verse 8 says, this shall happen in the latter years. So this is what is going to happen as a third world war. Now there are different nations. I'm going to just mention one nation that is present today that is going to join Russia in this battle. Read verse 5. Persia changed its name. In the year 1935, the country of Persia became known as Iran. So this Bible says that Russia and Persia are going to join with many countries and travel towards the mountains of Israel with their armies. Now at this time, when one faction, one group of armies is joining together to come against Israel, who will support Israel? Israel is supported by America, Britain, and some European English-speaking countries. But very sad, when Russia and Iran and those countries are taking their armies towards Israel, America and Britain will not take their armies to support Israel, because they know it's going to be a terrible loss if we go and lend our hand to support Israel. So they will only offer verbal support, verbal resistance, not literal resistance. Read verse 13.
Sheba and Dedan and the merchants of Tarshish with all the young lions thereof shall say unto thee, art thou come to take a spoil? Hast thou gathered thy company to take a prey, to carry away silver and gold, to take away cattle and goods, to take a great spoil?
So their resistance is only going to be in words. Their leaders will say, no, you should not do that. We oppose it and we resist it. But they will do nothing about it. So what is happening? Poor Israel is caught alone. Now they are going to be destroyed. At this time, what happens? From Russia, from Iran, they will come down and go towards Israel, and they will climb up those mountains. And they say, now we are going to finish Israel forever. At that time, when nobody is coming to help Israel, remember in the beginning we read a key verse. In that day I will make Jerusalem a burdensome stone to all people. Though the whole earth be assembled against it, they shall be cut in pieces. Now we are not supporting Israel, but we are happy because it has a spiritual application in our life. It's because we are spiritual Jerusalem, and just like the Lord defends the literal Jerusalem, He is going to defend us. So when the Russians and the Iranians climb up the mountains of Israel and they're going to come down and finish Israel, three things will happen. In verse 19, it says, there shall be a great shaking in the land of Israel. And the next verse says, the mountains shall be thrown down. An earthquake is going to take place and the mountains are going to be thrown down. So when these armies who are hating Israel are climbing up the mountains of Israel, they are on top, only a little more and we're going to win over Israel, the mountains start shaking. That's the first thing that will happen. The second thing that is going to happen, Ezekiel chapter 38 verse 21 says, every man's sword shall be against his brother. Remember, this army is a group of many nations coming together. What will happen? God is going to confound that army and they will start fighting with each other. There's going to be internal warfare. That's the second thing that will happen. Thirdly, there's going to be a rain. Not a rain of water. It's a rain of hailstones, fire and brimstone in verse 22. So by these three supernatural events, a great destruction is going to come upon not Israel, but the enemies of Israel. As a result of these three supernatural events, what is going to happen? When we come to the next chapter, Ezekiel 39, again the prophecy says, prophesy against Gog and Meshach and Tubal. Read verse 2. Read verse 3 and 4 also. There's no time, we'll see in Tamil alone. What is written here? God is telling the enemies of Israel, I will smite your bow out of your left hand and throw down your arrow from your right hand and make you empty-handed. And you and your armies are going to fall upon the mountains of Israel. And verse 2 says, only a sixth part of you will remain. Which means 5/6 of the army of the enemies of Israel are going to be destroyed, not by war, but by natural calamities. So what is going to happen? So when this 1/6 itself is a big number, they're going to decide whether to fight against Israel or not. At that time, from the European Union, as I told you yesterday, a little horn will come up. He's going to be the leader of the European Union. He will come and he will command peace between these two factions, and he will bring about a beautiful solution on how to create peace. So in the Temple Mount area, where there is a friction about the mosque and about Solomon's temple being rebuilt, he will give a peaceful solution. Everybody will be happy because this man has commanded a solution and stopped a great world war which could have destroyed crores and crores of people. And that's how this man comes to power. Everybody will elect him as the world leader. It's said about this time that Jesus will come. Just before or just after. As I told you a little while ago, you can't wait till then and say, I'll enjoy life and then get ready. There's no time for that. So you have heard so much. Remember how quickly Jesus is going to come.